forget what the number was, but the old law, the law of the Old Testament says that you're required to forgive. I think it's like, man, I don't remember the number, so please don't crucify me for having the wrong number. But it was a very low number. It was like lower than 7.
Like 3?
It was lower than 7. I don't remember. 3 rings because it is the Trinity, and 3 is a prevalent number.
Okay.
But it was an insanely low number of times that you were required by Jewish law to forgive someone. And the Pharisees, I don't remember if it's a Pharisee or Sadducee, I don't know which one it was, but the temple, the Jewish leaders that came to Christ and said, how many times should we forgive someone? You preach forgiveness. How many times should we forgive someone? Did I move out of frame?
No, I like it. Keep going, baby.
How many times should I forgive someone? 7 times? And when he said 7 times, he thought that he was given some exorbitant, crazy number that Christ would say, well, no, I mean, that's a little much. And when Christ popped back at him, he says, you should forgive a man 7 times 70. It was designed to blow his mind, to shoot him down, to break his will. That was the purpose of 7 times 70. It wasn't a literal number. His point was to give a number that is so far beyond what their norm was as to be completely illiteral and incomprehensible to the Jews of the time. That was the purpose of Christ's statement. He doesn't mean whatever. I'm not a mathematician. What 7 times 70? Y'all figure it out. I don't know. Okay? But whatever that is, what is it, 490? Is that what it comes out to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
7 times 7 is 49. So
it wasn't
like
that hard. Yeah, as soon as I said it's too hard for me, I went, no, it's not. You can do this. And my mind went off there. So I had to say it before I just made myself look like a complete idiot. Math ain't my strong suit. I had 2 kids because I didn't want 3. And then I married into a family and got 5. I don't know how that worked out. Anyway. Is it blinking red at you again?
Wait, where do I plug this in?
The only hole available.
Shush. Oh.
Anyway, forgiveness is preached in that fashion because it's supposed to be an immeasurable, unimaginable number. Even though we can place 7 times 70 as a finite number, to them, to the Jewish leaders, that was totally unheard of. Because the law told them that their forgiveness was only in the single digits. And to forgive a man of the same transgression for that many times was unthinkable. And that was the point. That was the point. Christ did not say 7 times 70 to give us a literal number of times that we're required to forgive someone before we can no longer forgive them. He avoided a trap that was set for him by the Jewish leadership. Agape. Unconditional love. I can forgive you of your sin. But if you're a pedophile, I'm not going to hire you as a babysitter. If you're a petty thief, I'm not going to hire you to run my register. I can forgive you, but I'm not going to put the opportunity in front of you to propagate your proclivity.
Okay, now, oh, hold on. What about the thing that we were talking about, the dog and kicking the dog, and the dog runs back all these times, and
There comes a point where the dog says, fuck you.
and then what does the dog do? What is the dog supposed to do? Because you're like,
The
okay,
dog
well, Christ is 7 times 7, and you're supposed to forgive it, and you just said, well, I'm not gonna. If you're a pedophile, I'm not gonna forgive you. I'll forgive you, but you're not gonna be my babysitter. Okay. And if you're a thief, you're not gonna read my register. Okay. So what about we were talking about that dog running up to somebody and like, so what should that little dog do?
That dog's got to make its own decision.
Okay.
Because it has free will. It is a creature of God like we are. And that dog makes its own decision. And there comes a point where that dog has to say, I'm going to run away like every other one did.
Is that dog a coward?
No.
Does he have agape and compassion in his heart, or is he just trying to save his own ass?
Because the dog left doesn't mean it doesn't love little Johnny. Doesn't mean that it doesn't want to perform its assigned mission. Doesn't mean that it doesn't want to bring enlightenment and agape to little Johnny. It means that that dog has simply reached its limit. And it said, I'm sorry, I can't accomplish this.
And what about that?
Right here, right now,
Mm-hmm.
I can't accomplish this.
What about karma for that little dog?
Karma is.
Does he have karma with little Johnny because little
Maybe.
Johnny didn't come through?
How do I know?
I'm just.
How should I know what that dog's karma is? I don't know what your karma is. I don't know I don't know what my karma is. We can hypothesize all day long about what this action or that action is going to produce for our karma. We don't know. We don't have the slightest idea. I don't anyway. I mean, maybe there's some of us that do. I don't know. We can take logic and we can try to figure it out. But if we place the ripple effect on our own situation, are we not part of everything else? Are we not a piece of this God consciousness? Are we not somehow, no matter how remotely connected to every other soul in existence? Thereby, we are part of their karma. I can't worry about that. I can't fuss with that. It is so beyond my control. Because it's too infinite. There's just no way for me to even comprehend the depth of the ripple. My getting a speeding ticket may have saved someone else's life, not ours, not yours and mine. It may have, and that's a difficult concept for most of us. Multiply that times 100. That karma was in place to save that person's life because that person has to do this so that the person that affected could do this. that could go over here and do this and could do this, so that somewhere in fucking Indochina, some kid gets a mouthful of food. I mean, do you understand that I know that was silly, and I'm sorry. But do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Karma is. It's so simple as to be understood by an idiot. Yet, it's so complex that there's no way that we can fully understand its ramifications.
Here in the mortal dense consciousness, because there are people that are scholars.
Here, that's what I mean.
Here.
When I
Yeah.
speak, I mean here.
You mean
'Cause I'm
on the
not
physical
speaking to
plane.
them. I'm not speaking to them.
Yeah.
They don't need to be. They don't need my thoughts. Okay. And hell, y'all, you may not need my thoughts. Okay, but maybe on the off chance there's some one person that might chance across this on a Sunday afternoon when they're bored out of their frickin' skull and decide to see what this is all about, and maybe just one point of this will go, hey, I never thought of that. And it was worth the electricity. Because we're going to do this anyway.
Exactly.
We do
It's
this.
fun.
We do this anyway. We figured that what the hell, somebody else might get something else out of it. We might. Maybe we're spreading light. Maybe we're throwing a blanket. I hope that maybe somebody somewhere will get some light out of this. Out of our conversation, out of our contemplation, out of our searching of each other's souls. That's my desire. Whether or not my desire comes to fruition, time will tell.
Awesome, baby. All right, that's a wrap. See y'all later.